Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon, dear students. So today I would like to start my lecture with the introduction of the English textbook. So as you must be completely aware that you have to deal with the new syllabus for this academic year, that is your HSC. So I would like to introduce the textbook or the pattern of your textbook. So firstly that I would like to discuss is the pattern that is the section based, right, which you have already done in the previous year, that is your 11th standard. So there is nothing new that you cannot understand, but still I would like to discuss the whole pattern with you. Like if we talk about till 10th standard, so till 10th standard it was all unit based, right? Means if we talk about the textbook till 10th standard, there were units in the textbook. If we talk about it, so there might be 4 or 5 units, and each of the unit will consist of chapters and poetries at the same time. And if we talk about it in detail, so there were no writing skills included in the textbook, right? So you have to search somewhere out that which topic you have to prepare for the exams and which topic you are not supposed to prepare and everything. So that was the topic that or the reason that why the students used to get a bit worried or used to panic about it, that which topic they have to prepare and all. But from the last year, that was your 11th standard, now this issue is completely over. Why? Because now the topics of writing skills are completely included in the textbook itself. So what exactly you have to prepare, you already know it, right? Because it's all there in front of you in the textbook itself. So you don't need to search somewhere else that what you have to prepare and what you don't have to prepare. So there is nothing to worry, okay? And you don't need to panic about it at all. So I would like to discuss about the 4 sections which is there in the textbook, which is just like the previous year. So the first section will be the prose section, okay, which will be having or which will consist of 8 chapters, okay. Now coming to the second section. So the second section will be completely based on poetries, and it will consist of 8 poetries of the whole section will consist of 8 poetries. Now coming to the third section will completely consist of writing skills. Now if we talk about the writing skills, so there are some of the topics which is new for you, and there are some of the topics which you are completely familiar with. Like for example, the very first topic is summary writing. So if we talk about the summary writing, this is one of the topic which you are very much familiar with, and even we have done in a previous year also. Coming to the second topic is about the mind mapping. So this topic is a bit new for you. Now the third one is note making. Note making is a topic which all of us have been doing since from so long, right? There's nothing very new about it. So this is a easy topic that you can easily we can cover it. Now coming to the fourth one, that is statement of purpose. So this topic is newly introduced in your syllabus. And now coming to the fifth one is drafting a virtual message. This is also a new topic introduced in your textbook. Now the last one is group discussion. Group discussion is a topic that you can understand, but you must have not done it previously, okay? So we will be dealing with it later. Now coming to the last section, that is the fourth section. So that is genre drama. Now there will be 4 parts in it, 4 chapters in it. The very first chapter will be history of novel. So if we talk about history of novel, so what will be there in the history of novel that we have to discuss, or we have to deal with it in detail. For example, what exactly the novel is, and how people started writing novels, why it received huge popularity among the readers. And there was a particular period when novel started getting popularity through the readers. So what was the particular reason behind that? That's what also we need to understand in detail. So that's what we have to go through if we talk about the history of novel. So that's what we will deal in detail later. Now, there are three novels included in the textbook. Okay, 4.2, 4.3, and 4.4. So when we talk about the section 4 three novels, so the very first novel, that is 4.2, To Serve with Love. This is a very famous novel that we will be dealing later, which is written by E.R. Braithwaite. Okay, now coming to the second novel. The second novel of the section will be Around the World in 80 Days. So, Around the World in 80 Days is basically a very famous novel. And if we talk about this novel, so the story of this novel, based on it, there is a movie. Many of you must have even watched the movie, or if you haven't watched the movie, you must have heard about it, that yes, there is a movie named Around the World in 80 Days. So that movie is completely based on the story of this novel. And coming to the third novel and the last novel of the textbook, that is The Sign of Four. So again, this novel is also quite very popular, and again there is a movie based on this novel. The whole story of the movie The Sign of Four have been taken from this novel. Okay, so now moving ahead, the history of novel. So that's what the topic for today that we will be starting, and we will discuss about. So what is novel? First of all, we need to understand, and when it started means in which century it started. Okay, so the first thing that we will discuss, that there were two major gifts that we received from the period of 18th century. In the 18th century, we received two major gifts, okay, in the world of literature. That was periodical essay, and the second topic were novel, which was the most dominant literary genre. Remember this, that novels are the most dominant literary genre. Okay, now coming to the periodical essay. What is periodical essay is all about? That's what we need to understand. So if we talk about the periodical essay, so what's the meaning of it? A periodical essay is an essay that is a short work of non-fiction which is published in a magazine or maybe in a journal, or in particular an essay that appears as a part of a series. Now see, if we talk about periodic, what does it mean? What periodic means? Like for example, if I am writing something, okay, if I am writing a any of the in the column of a newspaper, or if I am writing an article anywhere, like it's in journal, or it might be in the magazine or in the newspaper, wherever I am writing. So if I write it just for once, okay, in my whole life, if I write it just for once, so it won't be called as periodicals. Understood? I won't be able to call it periodic if I write it just for once in my whole life. If I am writing it more than once, like for example, if I am writing on a regular basis, or if not regular basis, maybe less than that. So if maybe weekly, or if I'm writing it on a month basis, or a yearly basis if I'm writing, but it is fixed that within a week or within a month or within a year, my things, or whatever the things that I'm writing, it will get published in any of the like journal or newspaper or the magazine, anywhere it can appear. So there should be more than once if I'm repeating it, and it is fixed that yes, weekly, monthly or yearly I am going to publish it. So that's what it will be called as periodicals. Okay, now coming to periodical essay. So that was something which was non-fiction. Okay, if what is fiction, if we talk about fiction, so that is something which is completely based on imagination, right? If I am writing a story which I am imagining through my own, and it might be not linked with the real life or with the real story, it's just the creation of my own imagination which I thought and I have written. So that will be fiction, which is based on my own imagination. So that's what the fiction. Now what is non-fiction? Means opposite of that, means which is based on the true events or the fact okay, which might have happened in someone's life, or it might be informative or some of the knowledgeable stuff. So that is what the periodical essay. An essay which is non-fiction and a very short work. It isn't like the novel or the drama or the books and whatever. It's not like that. It's a very short piece of writing which is non based on non-fiction and which comes in a periodic manner. Is it clear what is periodical essay? Now moving towards another topic, that is what is novel. So when we talk about the novel, so we need to understand very clearly that what exactly it deals with. Now, so the term novel, basically it's derived from the Latin word novella. The term novella, that which is a Latin word, okay, from there the term novel has been taken, and that means a new. The meaning of of novella is new. So novel is basically a relatively long narrative fiction. What is narrative now? If I talk about narrative, so you must remember that your grandparents used to tell you the stories and everything, right? When in our childhood we must have heard the stories from our grandparents. So they used to tell us the stories. So that was basically a narration of the story. Are you getting the point? So that was basically the narration of the story. So novel is a narrative fiction. Fiction we already discussed, which is based on our own imagination, okay, which describes the human experiences normally in a prose form. So which deals with the human experiences and which describes it, and it is in a prose form, means it doesn't appear in the form of poetry or anything like that. It appears, or it comes in the form of prose. Is it clear to you? Now moving to the meaning of it, that what how we can describe it in detail. So basically it was like something like which was giving meanings to the people's life that time. Like when people were started reading it, they felt like the life is becoming a bit meaningful. They were getting the meaning that what exactly the life is all about, how's the surrounding, how's the environs, how they can tackle the situation, and what exactly the life is and how we need to deal with the life and people. It was teaching the moral ethics to the people and many other things that it was dealing with. And it was started getting fame later. Now coming to the another topic, that why novels were not prevalent before 18th century, and another question that pop up in our mind, that why it became the most dominant literary genre 18th century onwards. So there is a reason behind both the question. There is a answer which we all need to know very clearly. Okay, so the first thing that I would like to discuss is the why novels were not prevalent before 18th century. Now, when we talk about it, so before 18th century, the writers or the novelists, they used to write on the topics like something romance, ideal love, or something like this topics. So very delightful topics and all these things. So if I talk about these topics, so before 18th century, the families who belong to the middle class or the lower middle class families, they were hardly living their life. They were hardly buying the things for their life or to survive. So they won't be having a lot of money to buy these books and read these novels and the stories just for their entertainment. So there were only upper class families, for them it was a source of entertainment and something like that, or so before 18th century, people were just taking it as a source of entertainment and were writing only on romances and the ideal love, how it should be or how it is and all these things. So only the higher class families were taking interest because they had money, so they could spend easily on it, and they were getting entertained by reading those stuff. But what about the middle class family and the lower middle class family? If we talk about the getting fame and the like if we talk that it should get famous or it should receive huge popularity among the readers, so it will happen only if all the kinds of all background people will take interest in it, or if only higher class people are reading it, so there is a less chances of anything to get popular, right? So that was a major reason why it was not that prevalent before 18th century, because the middle class family, the lower middle class family, they were hardly buying things. So how anyone can spend money on something which is not of their own interest and something out of which they can't get benefit? Obviously, if I belong to a middle class family and I have to buy something, so I would prefer buying those stuff which can give me some benefit somehow, right? Or which should be a bit knowledgeable stuff through which I'll get some information and I'll get to increase my knowledge, right? And I need to become a bit wise by reading those stuff, then it might possible that I will take interest in reading those stuff if I belong to middle class or lower middle class family. So somehow they were not taking interest because it was difficult thing for them to buy and read such love stories and everything. So there were only higher class family who were reading it and who were taking interest in it. Now, the how it became the most dominant literary genre in 18th century. So the reason behind it, later when people realized that they should write about something new and something productive, they should write about, see, if we talk about our own country, if we talk about, so before independence, if we talk about before independence, so there were few freedom fighters, like who used to write a lot, right? And why they were writing some of the topics, like very provocative topics, they used to write on. Why they were writing those topics? Because they wanted people to get provocated, and so that they can get angry, and they should come out with the strong emotions by realizing that yes, they need to fight for their own rights. So there were so many writers who tried to provocate the Indians through their writings, so that they will fight for their own right and we will come out as a independent country. So these are the things that the writing can do, understood? And that's what the later the novelist started doing, not just fighting for their rights, but to understand the actual meaning of life, how we can make the life productive, and how we can understand our own environs, and how we need to tackle any kind of a situation, if it's easy or difficult, whatever it is, how we need to deal with it. That all the things were there in it. They started mentioning about the purpose of life, and it started gaining popularity because they started dealing with a realistic pattern, and they started including intellectual sentimental parts. So somewhere it started getting fame in it. And if we talk about the realistic picture of the life, see, through their own imagination, sometimes they used to portray a situation where we might get indulged, and later we have to deal with it. So through that we can learn that what exactly we can do if we get stuck in this situation. So what should be the solution and how we need to tackle the situation. That's all the things we can understand. And later, that if we talk about the realistic picture of everyday life and problems of common people, it was depicted in the novels, and that appealed to the newly educated class and was regarded by them as a respectable reading material at the same time. So the novel as a form appears to have been designed for both, to voice the aspiration of the middle class and lower class at the same time. So these were the reasons why it started getting fame or popularity among the readers 18th century onwards. Now moving towards another topic, that some of the famous novels and their authors. So like you must have heard some of the very famous novels. So here are few of the topics, a few of the novels and their authors. So the very first that I would like to tell you that is Gulliver's Travels. This is a very famous novel, which is a famous satire, okay, which was written by Jonathan Swift. Then there is a Clarissa, which was written by Samuel Richardson. Another, moving to the another one, that is History of Tom Jones, which was written by Henry Fielding. Then there is another one that is David Copperfield, which was written by Charles Dickens. Then War and Peace, there was a novel, and a very quite very famous novel, which was written by Leo Tolstoy. Then 20th century's novelist who introduced modern topics, innovative styles and techniques. Now, in the 20th century, the novelist had introduced some of the new topics to it. Okay, like some of the it was there earlier, but it wasn't that, like before 18th century if we talk. So we already discussed that what was the reason why it wasn't that prevalent before the 18th century. Then we also discussed that why it got fame 18th century onwards, we discussed in detail. Then coming to the 20th century, so there were some particular novelists who started some of the innovative topics, some of the innovative styles and techniques they included in the novels. And they also introduced the cultural aspects and the political and social aspects they included. And they also included some of the new techniques to the world of novel and to the world of literature, which through which the novels got even more fame than earlier. And here are some of the names. The firstly, E.M. Forster, James Joyce, Henry James, George Orwell, D.H. Lawrence, William Golding. These are few of the names. There are many more names, but here are the very famous few of the names who contributed to make the novels even quite popular, even more popular among the readers and in the world of literature. Then contribution of the female novelist. So if we talk about the female novelist, so obviously that if we do not discuss a female, so that will be something, the whole pageant cannot be neglected of the women and all. So these are the few names of females that we have to discuss. So the first novel, that is Evelina, which is a novel of manners. So a very important topic that have been covered in the novel Evelina, and which was written by Frances Burney. And another one, if we talk about, that is Frankenstein, which is a very famous novel which is based on science fiction. Okay, means it is fiction, but it's based on science also, which was written by Mary Shelley. Coming to the another novel, that is Sense and Sensibility, again a very famous novel which is written by Jane Austen. Now the fourth is Home, that was written by Toni Morrison. And coming to the last one, To Kill a Mockingbird, Harper Lee. Okay, so these are the some of the female novelists who contributed a lot in the world of novel and literature. Now, if we talk about the scenario of India, that what was the contribution of Indian novelist, so we are going to discuss it in the upcoming lecture. That what is the India's scenario, and what are the elements of the novel, that if we are writing something, so how that writing can be called as a novel. So what are the elements that you need to include in your writing so that you can call it novel? That's what we are going to discuss later, the elements of novel. And at the same time we will discuss the types of novel, that how many types of novels are there in literature. That's what we will deal in the upcoming lecture. So that's, I hope you have understood everything what we have completed in today's lecture. So thank you for